Patient Zero is currently streaming on Starz and is a movie that was directed by the guy who directed the movie that I watched yesterday that I loved called Cold Hell. If you haven't seen Cold Hell, I highly recommend it if you're into something like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. It has very similar feel and will be one of my favorites of the year for sure. Absolutely surprised the hell out of me, and that is currently streaming on Shudder. When I saw that guy was directing it and I saw the cast, I saw Matt Smith from Doctor Who, I saw Natalie Dormer, I saw, Samuel Tarly, so 2 Game of Thrones alums there, and we even have Stanley Tucci. This is a bunch of recognizable faces, good actors. This is well shot. It's well acted. And I went on IMDb, and you know what? I almost came down here and recorded a rant video last night, which I don't really like doing, but I was actually really, really irritated because I went on IMDb, which I just need to just stop going on there altogether. I went on there and I looked through the reviews and it was just 1 star, 1 star, 1 star, 1 star. And there was some good ratings as well, but for the most part, it was just like 1 stars, 2 stars. Stop giving 1 stars, okay? 1 stars are meant for movies that have literally nothing to offer. Nothing. Nothing at all. So I don't want to get into that too much, but almost every review I read that was 1 star. I didn't read the whole thing, but I read like the brief description at the top and then a couple words down below it. The majority of them said, the same thing. The movie is boring. What fucking movie did these people watch? This movie is not boring for a second. It is a zombie film that actually tries something new, unique, and fairly original. I really enjoyed the first 2 acts of this movie a lot and was angry. That's why I wanted to come down here and record a rant video. But the 3rd act fell off, and that's why I didn't. After that, I was like, all right, I want to go to bed. Does it deserve a 1 star? Absolutely not even close. That pisses me off. Boring? There is nothing boring about this movie. Here's the problem with this film. They wanted to try something different. Oh my God, has this been a great year for zombie movies? I have seen a ton of very inventive, very, original zombie movies. A subgenre we thought was absolutely played out. There was nothing left to do. In the last couple of years, I have seen so many unique, interesting zombie movies where people have thought of creative new ways to inject some life, kind of ironic to say it that way, but inject some life back into this dead subgenre. And with The Walking Dead having such a great season this season and all these zombie things that have happened lately, it kind of reminds me, the story kind of reminds me of this year's The Cured with Ellen Page. It has a similar story, kind of, ish. Very ish. This feels almost like a prequel to that in a way, because they're trying to cure this disease. Because in this, it's more of an infected movie, more so than a zombie movie. And this is like an underground facility where they are trying to find patient zero. They're trying to find the guy or girl who started it all. So they're going, and there's this guy who has been bitten, played by Matt Smith, but he did not turn. But he has the ability to communicate with the zombies. The zombies have their own speech, and when he goes in, he can interrogate them and ask them, and try to figure out, because they all hunt in packs, and the bigger their pack, the longer they've been around. And so he goes in and he starts interrogating these zombies to try to, or these infected, whatever you want to call them. And he's trying to, obviously suss out where this started. And they have a pretty good location now of where it all started. And they're trying to, because they are able to communicate with each other and they know each other, they know everything. So that he's trying to get these guys to talk. The film plays out essentially like a interrogation film. Like, like a crime drama where there's a lot of it's spent in the interrogation room, and there's this like murder mystery, and they're trying to find the person who killed the person. They're trying to find the one who dealt the final blow, so to speak. And so they're just like trying to backtrack it as much as they can. And the acting from everyone's good. But as I was trying to get to earlier, the issue with this movie is that they were trying so much and they were trying to be so unique and they were building such a big story that when it came to that third and final act, it was too much to fit in. And they tried to end it really quick. And you can feel it. It becomes so rushed. The story just becomes so condensed. This film, much like I said about The Cured, could really benefit from being a television series. This idea of trying to find patient zero, and there's so many places they could have went with this, and you can just feel the strain on the film. Like, okay, we need to get this done, so let's condense everything into like a couple quick little things here, and let's move it on, and then we'll end it. And where it ends, this ends like on a cliffhanger. This ends with a like, hopefully there's another one. You know, hopefully there's more to this, because it absolutely can go on from here. It even ends like on, a narration that just bleeds into the credits, and you're like, whoa, what? That's it? Okay, shit. I thought this was gonna go more. You need more, you want more, but you're not excited for more because that last act just became kind of botched and very condensed, and that's a shame. I wish they would have had at least another 30 minutes to explore, but ideally this is more of a television series idea. This is a pilot. If you saw this as a pilot and they could have extended out that last 30 minutes into an hour, I think it would have been a great 2-part episode into a television series. So this is a really interesting flick. And if you're a big fan of the infected or zombie subgenre and you feel like you've seen it all, there's been a lot of good stuff lately to check out. I just wish that they could have figured out a way to wrap this up tighter. Maybe spread out the 30-minute condension and kind of like bleed it over into the first 2 acts so that it's more seamless throughout, as opposed to like backloading the whole thing and then slow build, all at once. It's just a shame. But it's a cool movie regardless, and I recommend it for those people that are into this. But it's a shame to watch something get so condensed in the last act. But the people who are giving this 1 stars are out of their fucking mind. Boring? There's not a second of boring. This movie's fast-paced. This movie has a lot going on. Boring. Unreal. But damn, I really wanted to like this one. 2/3 of the way in, I was like, yes, this movie's gonna be high up. And then just kind of crashed down. What a shame. Oh well. All right.